Hey, good morning, guys. This is Jimmy from Primer Is Best, and I have some good news, at least for my wife and myself. Maybe y'all too. I don't know. But I sold my wheels and tires I had in the back of this truck, this old '03, 2003 Cat Eye truck. The wheels that were on it to begin with when I bought the truck, uh, I found these wheels, and I don't know. I like these better, so I finally sold my wheels and tires, and now they're gone. So now I got to get rid of this this air deflector thing that was on the front of this truck. See how beat up it is. I know I've showed you this before, but every once in a while I get new subscribers or a new person to watch a video I made, whatever. That's got a little place right there too. I don't know if y'all can see it, but anyway, I got to get rid of this too. It's a kind of hard plastic, and that's the next thing I got to get rid of. But it's kind of nice to have the truck used for a truck again. I'm real proud that the wheels are gone. I don't have to fool with anybody else. What in the heck? Jeez. Looked like it was having some trouble. I'll just leave it at that. Insect. Anyway, the new one looks pretty good on here. I got to tell you again, I never imagined the way this thing was bent up in a box. It's bent. You could see the white, the plastic was bent so hard. Anyway, GM 1038 put this on for me, straightened my bumper, a whole bunch of stuff if you watched the other video. But that's not why I'm making this video today. I was shaving like I do every morning, and thinking about what I need to do today. I need to get a hold of these bushes. They grow so quick, and we've had so much rain. But I was thinking back about 1980, 81, 82, somewheres in that time era there. I was going to tell you a little story about this. My friend and I, let me start off by saying, my friend and I were riding around in the country, and just looking around, just going around looking for old cars and old trucks. Like I said, I've always been interested in this stuff, even as a little baby kid. So he was too, and we were just riding around, probably drinking a Coca-Cola or something, or milkshake or something, probably a Coke or Yoo-Hoo. Anyway, we were riding around way out in the country, and went down this road we'd never been on before, as I recall. And we come across this field, like it was mowed like this, just real flat. And there was probably, I'm just guessing, but trying to remember, but there was probably 15 to 20 cars and trucks, maybe a little more, of cars and trucks just, lined up, you know, several rows of them. And what piqued my interest on them was there was a 1967 Chevelle Super Sport, black, lined up in the row of cars and trucks. And there was also a black 57 Ford Fairlane. Here, a helicopter, if you're wondering. Probably Lifestar. But anyway, there was row after row after row. And I stopped, my buddy and I did, we seen a trailer, a house trailer that was real close to the field like thing. And there was a guy sitting there drinking beer with a bunch of his friends. I'm going to try to show you this. I don't know if he'll come around through here or not. It's awfully close. Normally if you hear a helicopter, there's been an accident or something, Well, I don't know if we'll see him or not. He's awfully close. There, You can't see him in between the trees, but he just... Man, sounds like there's two of them now. Oh, that's that plane that keeps flying over the house. I keep calling it my plane. As you can see, he normally flies this way, but I guess he's had to divert because of the helicopter. Good. Anyway. Oh yeah. My friend and I went and pulled in to where those fellers were drinking. And the guy said, I asked him, I said, could you, would you be interested in selling? I said, do those vehicles belong to you? And he said, yeah. And I said, would you be interested in selling any of the vehicles? I said, I'm interested in from what I can see, I said, I'm interested in the 67 Chevelle. You know, I still had the Super Sport hood and all that. And at that time, as I recall, they didn't reproduce those hoods or anything. So it was kind of neat to even find a 67 Chevelle Super Sport with the hood still on it, because even if you had a Malibu, you know, a lot of people would put the Super Sport hoods on it, had a couple of bulges, and you know, they looked pretty good. And he said, nope, said nothing's for sale out there. And I said, okay. I said, well, I just thought I'd ask, you know, don't hurt to ask. And so my buddy and I got back in the car or truck, whatever we was in at the time, and drove off. Well, I was telling one of my friends at work about that the next week, and he said, yeah. I think I know where you're talking about. And he said there was an old man that owned all those vehicles, and he said he would go out there at least once a week and start them all. And he said he kept it mowed. I mean, it looked as good or better than my yard. I mean, it was all cleaned up. Said he passed away. And the guy that was sitting on the porch drinking beer, come to find out that wound up being his son that owned, I guess, the trailer and the property and all the vehicles, because his dad had passed away, you know, the old man. So anyway, he was a truck driver. I meant to mention this earlier. There was a big semi truck with trailer parked there too. So he said, no, I don't want to sell the vehicles, you know. He said, I noticed he was a truck driver. Well, he was gone like, you know, a week or two at a time. Well, after the old man had passed away, things started coming up missing. You know, I used to drive by there periodically just to look and see, you know, what was going on, or if he decided maybe, you know, I thought I might catch him out and ask him again if he'd be interested in selling something. But I never did stop anymore, just that one time. And when I was asking about it, but things started coming up missing because he was gone all the time. So the Super Sport hood, the 67 Chevelle Super Sport hood, came up missing. And it had a 396 in it, according to the badges on the fender, you know. So I knew it was a big block car, and I don't know if somebody, like I said, is way out in the country. I mean, you could, when it's dark out in the country, I mean, it's dark. It's not like, you know, being in a city where there's street lights and stuff. When it's dark, it's dark. I mean, you can do just about whatever you want. So I don't know if people just knew that all that stuff was there and they started taking parts off because he was never home or what. But anyway, all those cars, it didn't take long for the, you know, everything to grow up, and all, you know, all the cars and trucks just pretty much deteriorated, and parts missing, and parts, you know, stolen, you know, from that situation. You know, I mean, that guy couldn't take care of them. I mean, if you're gone all the time and you have such nice cars there. And I know I mentioned the 57 Ford. You wouldn't believe this, but back in 57, you know, they had 57 Chevys, of course, 57 Fords. Fords outsold Chevys in 57. But you don't see many 57 Fords. You see a lot of 57 Chevys drug out of every kind of nook and cranny you can find one. But it was just, I thought it was kind of interesting, sad, that the dad, the old man that had took care of the vehicles for such a long time, and they took good care of them and kept it mowed around there, and I'm kind of thinking maybe that guy should have put them someplace else or had somebody live there to keep an eye on stuff, or just sold them. I mean, he was obviously not going to do anything with them, but I mean, I'm not condoning stealing by any stretch, but it's kind of sad how people are, I think. Okay, I'll tell you another quick story. And once again, I was riding around in the mountains, and I think Mrs. PIB was with me. This has been a long time ago. Long time ago. I was riding around up in the mountains on some roads I'd never been on before. I live in East Tennessee, so there's mountains all around us. Here comes my plane again. Anyway, I went down this road, and I looked to my right, and in this old garage, with the tail end sticking out, like, I don't know, like this much sticking out, was a 55 Chevy. So I thought, I thought, well, heck, I told my wife, Miss PIB, I'd like to check on that car. I said, I wonder if he'd like to sell that car. So she she talked me into turning around. Well, I would have anyway. She didn't have to do much talking. But she turned around, had me turn around. I'll blame it on her. But we turned around. I pulled in the driveway, and I sat there for a minute, seeing if there's any dogs. And I opened up the car door, and this man stepped out of an old house. I mean, it's all run down, and I'm not talking about anybody's homes. I'm just saying it was all wore down. The garage looked like it could fall in on itself, and there sat that 55 Chevy. And I said, told him who I was, and I said, I was just wondering, sir. I said, I don't mean to bother you today. I said, but would you be interested in selling your 55 Chevy? And boy, I tell you what, you talk about a good cuss, and I got one. This guy cussed me from up one side and down the other, and told me, he said, you don't see a for sale sign, do you? And I said, well, no, sir, I don't. I said, but I just thought, well, you thought, but, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I deserved it. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't being pushy. I was just asking, would you be willing to sell the car? And, of course, he wouldn't. So I'm probably assuming the car probably fell in on itself, whatever. Who knows? Might be sentimental. I don't know. But anyway, I remembered that. But, I'm sure, I'm absolutely positively sure that I'm not the first person that stopped to ask about that car. And, if you don't want to be disturbed or something like that, to me, I mean, speaking for myself, I'd get a tarp and cover the back end. And, I'd do something to keep people from seeing that, hey, there's a 55 Chevy two-door sitting in there. And anyway, that's just my 2 cents worth. But I've been very hesitant ever since then to stop and ask about anything. But, that's why I try to keep most of my stuff in a garage, so people don't stop, bug me about it, or hey, whatever. So anyway, that's just another little story. Like I said, I was just shaving, and I got a little radio in my bathroom. My wife does as well, and I've learned not to sing while you're shaving, because you'll cut your lip, it's easy. So I was just shaving and thinking about, reminiscing about old cars and old trucks, and wonder what happened to them. And for some reason, I don't know why, I mean, this is today, but the last few days, I've had a inclination which it will pass. I've had it before. But I've had an inclination to get me a 55 Chevy two-door post that just looks just as rough as it can be. You know, that's kind of a dream, and get it to running. But anyway, that's just a dream. Hadn't even told my wife about that dream. Not going to. So anyway, appreciate y'all listening to the video, guys. I know it's not much. It's not what I'm accustomed to doing as far as telling big long stories like this, but I thank you for listening. Let me know if you like this kind of stuff, because I got bunches more. So I guess I'll end the video because there's a dog barking. You're watching Primer at its Best. If you'd like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thank you for listening to the video. I'm also on I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Primer at its Best. That dog got me all messed up. Facebook, Primer at its Best, and Instagram, Primer at its Best. I also got a second YouTube channel called Man on a Budget. I occasionally put videos up on, and I'm on Instagram, Man on a Budget 1. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all the prayers for my wife and myself and my mother-in-law who had a massive stroke. And I'm grateful for each and every one of y'all. Please like and subscribe. Help me keep the channel going. God bless y'all. I'll catch y'all in the next video. I'll see y'all later.